I'm definitely muting. Like, what is the response? What do you mean? She's responding to Trump's speech?
Or when elected leaders stand by and just let it happen. But it's also at risk when the president pits Americans against each other, when he demonizes those who are different and tells certain people they shouldn't be included. Because America is not just a patch of land between two oceans. We are more than that. Generations have fought and died to secure the fundamental rights that define us. Those rights and the fight for them make us who we are. We're a nation of strivers, risk takers, innovators, and we are never satisfied. That is America's superpower. And look, I've lived and worked in many countries. I've seen democracies flicker out. I've seen what life is like when a government is rigged. You can't open a business without paying off a corrupt official. You can't criticize the guys in charge without getting a knock at the door in the middle of the night. So as much as we need to make our government more responsive to our lives today, don't for one moment fool yourself that democracy isn't precious and worth saving. But how do we actually do that? I know a lot of you have been asking that question. First, don't tune out. It's easy to be exhausted, but America needs you now more than ever. If previous generations had not fought for this
Bro, I don't even know what she's talking about. I mean, it's like they live in a different world, man. Like, oh, democracy. Oh, they're pitting Americans against each other. Like, get out of here. When the Democrats didn't clap for anything you just saw, it's because they chose that. It's not Trump that's dividing them. It's them choosing to be that way. You could easily be a Democrat. You could easily be a person in that room and say, I'm not going to clap for the things that he contributes to himself, but I'm going to clap to the good things that a good-hearted person would clap for. And you could do the same thing throughout government. You could do the same thing throughout your life. The people who are choosing not to do that, you can't blame Trump for that. That's on you. You decide that. You decide when you're going to divide from people. It's not somebody appears and now you're like, oh, I have to be divided from you, and it's his fault. No. That's your fault when you choose to do things like that. You don't have to do that. Like I was talking about in another video. I do so many videos. I don't even know when they were or what. But I was talking in a video about one of my friends who's like really, he's on like Ukraine's side, and he was showing me videos from Ukraine, and he's into like war and technique and strategy and all this stuff. So he's showing me all the strategic things Ukraine has done and tanks and this and that. And he's showing me all this stuff, and it's like, we still get along, you know? This guy just invited me to his bachelor party. It's up to you if you want to divide from people, you know? And thankfully, he hasn't done that with me. He knows everything I do. He knows about this channel and everything. But I don't divide from him. And what are we going to do? We're going to blame Trump? You're going to blame Trump when that happens? That's you doing that. You don't get to blame these politicians when you decide to do something. That's crazy. That means you give them ultimate power over your life. Like, them not clapping is them showing Trump how much power he has over them. If you're seeing a kid who had brain cancer, who was supposed to only live for some odd days and lived for years, and has a wish to be a police officer, and is now becoming a secret service agent, like an honorary one, and you don't clap, that's because of you. That's because you suck. You suck if you're doing that. It's not Trump. Trump doesn't suck because you don't want to clap when he says something. It's ridiculous. So all this talk, I mean, this is why I don't want to hear this rebuttal. Because it's going to be this lady talking about democracy, this and that, and people being pitted against you. It's crazy. And since when does some random Democrat get to make a response to the president of the United States? That's an essence, and I can't even believe I guess this is like live from now. I don't know if it's Fox or what, but that's propaganda at its finest. The president says something. You can unify over the president's message, and they're like, and here's something else for you. That's a dividing tactic right there. That's them using a dividing tactic. Oh, well, you know, I know you heard what the president said, but we don't want you to listen to that. We're going to provide you with another thing to listen to. Here it is. What? That's a dividing tactic. You could just leave them with that's what the president said. You can take the good from it. You can take the bad from it. But instead, no. Let's have one of our people now speak some things and call him out for things he said. It's getting retarded. Okay? Asmund Gold says it. Why can't I say it? Why do I get penalized for saying it? And he's fine when he says it. It's getting retarded. It's too much. It's just too much. So tired of this nonsense. He's your president. That's it. It's sorry. That's the way it is. He's your president. It's 4 years, and you'll see who else comes up after that. You're going to make yourself a worse person because of who's in office and then blame that person. It's so nonsensical. It's so nonsensical. When you wear your Texas hoodie, make sure